Hello and welcome to another update video about Alchemy Pay. I think it's a good day to talk about Alchemy Pay because there are some news and the price has gone up massively. It has, at times, it was like 50% in profit, which is rare at the moment, you know, given the current environment and what's going on in the crypto market, everybody being a bit depressed, you know. But in the MCO community here, we are all prepared for it, of course. We're also prepared for Alchemy Pay, this price increase, because I published a video on the 26th of December about Alchemy Pay being one of my must-haves in 2022 due to the potential that I at least see in Alchemy Pay and the partnerships and what they have planned and so on. I think it's a really good project, and today we finally see some movement here. Now, I did talk about Alchemy Pay also in the member live streams before I published that video on the 26th, but we were well ahead of this price jump, of course, in the MCO community. Not that we always are, of course not. But I think this is following, this price jump today is, you know, following the news that Binance will list Alchemy Pay and also Immutable X, which I not really talked about because you can't just cover it all. But Alchemy Pay definitely will be listed here on Binance from tomorrow, as far as I understand. So that'll be quite interesting, certainly interesting. And yeah, it's a good project in my view. And if you want to know more about Alchemy Pay, check out my last video from the 26th of December about Alchemy Pay. And I have put a link in the description for you for Alchemy Pay. So I'm not going to talk about the fundamentals here. I did that before, also talked about in the member live stream. And if you from time to time want to hear about these things when I talk about them in the member live stream, which might sometimes be earlier than actually in the videos for everybody, then yeah, check out maybe the channel membership, and also if you want to see my buy and sell orders on Discord and join the live stream and so on, and you know, live chat and Telegram. So there's a lot going on in the core community here, and I'm grateful for everybody's support. Now, Alchemy Pay, despite, I must say to begin with, despite this pump that we saw today, this is not a sustainable breakout in my view, and it's not, again, I have to be bearish, as you know, unfortunately. We are still in this downtrend. You can clearly see it. I mean, it doesn't have to do anything with, I'm talking the price down here. Unfortunately, we're still in this downtrend. You can see how the peaks are connected together. Cleared the downtrending line. This is, by the way, the chart from Coinbase. It's, by the way, already listed on Coinbase. That's where I bought it originally. But I think you can get it on KuCoin as well. We can just double check here. Yeah, no, it's not. Might not be on KuCoin actually. It's on Huobi, CoinEx, and Coinbase, and I guess it will be then on Binance here. As you can see, Binance will list Alchemy Pay and will open trading pairs on the 10th. Oh, is it today already? All right. Anyway, they will list it nevertheless. So, wanted to talk about in my last video. I talked about my price view for 2022, depending on how quickly Bitcoin can bottom out, but it will be the next wave up, in my view, will land somewhere here in the region of at least, I would say, 16 cents, but possibly even higher, you know. Possibly we get here all the way up to the 2.618, 25 cents. I think we could even see possibly higher prices than that. I think Alchemy Pay, as soon as it really kicks off, it will do really well also here in 2022, as soon as Bitcoin has bottomed out. What we can see though is that we have obviously a low here from that beginning of that wave, yeah, and since then we've made sort of higher lows overall. Yes, of course, a higher low here and a lower low, but overall you can see this slight uptrend, which means that at some point we might here actually get into an apex. Yeah, so the price over the next few weeks, and this could take weeks, it could even take a few months of this sideways movement here, that we could get really squeezed into an apex, and at some point then you get a massive breakout. Now, with Alchemy Pay, what we've seen here, in my view, is that we've topped out here. Then you've seen an ABC. You've seen your ABC correction, and possibly then a more complex XWY pattern, or more complex correction that Alchemy Pay has followed here. And it could really have bottomed out here. It could really have, because it has already seen that more complex correction that some cryptos are still seeing only now, or even are starting to see. So I think we've already seen here an ABC, and also the second run up, which some cryptos only just see now. For example, Harmony One, Phantom, and so on. And I think Alchemy Pay might have already seen that, and we are trailing along here this ascending trend line, and we're currently here at a price of, I mean, 7 cents now. To be fair, we already were down here at around 6 cents. This is this support line, and we've already, since the pump today, already dropped down quite a bit again. Yeah, so we've come up all the way to 10 cents. So hopefully nobody FOMOed in, or 9.5. Because if you just simple look at the chart here, and hopefully you learn this stuff on this channel, just a simple chart by drawing a trend line and a resistance line would have told you that we were here still in a downtrend. Only I think when you really can break above this trend line, you can start to talk about a sustainable breakout. But even then, I would love to see it and make a higher high. Yeah, so you always want to see higher lows and higher highs to break a structure. So what we still see here, only a slightly higher low. Yes, a higher high compared to the previous one, but you see these significant highs here, and you're still below this downtrending line, unfortunately. We have, however, and that is good news in my view, we have, however, broken above the 20-day moving average, which is a white line. You might not see that well, but also here the orange line, the 50-day moving average. So this is sitting at pretty much 7 cents. So in this pump up, we have broken to the upside. Obviously, it was a bit of a pump and dump here. Some people made profits up here, certainly. But we are holding currently above the 50-day moving average. Now, this seems quite positive. Also, hopefully you didn't FOMO in, because you can see it here that we went massively overboard, right? So if you get that much overboard, it's not a good time to go in, because most certainly there will always be a dip. There will always be a dip, but I know many people will FOMO in when these news come out and everything. But on the daily, it's even hardly noticeable now, right? I mean, it's still impressive move up today compared to what the other crypto market is doing. And to be fair, on the daily, we've seen here the MACD line come up for a while now, and it might even cross the zero line now. So this could be potentially a good time to get in. You know, not financial advice, of course, just say what might be a possibility, because you see the buy signals here. You have a buy signal here on the MACD, which would be the crossing of the zero line, and we are holding here above the 50-day moving average. And I think we're not going to drop much more, to be fair. I think we're not going to drop much more. What I could imagine is that if Bitcoin sells off much more, maybe we break that trend line here to the downside, and you get to the 0.887 fib level here at 5.5 cents. But overall, if we take a look on the higher time frame here on the 4-day chart, you can see on the 4-day chart it's actually reversing. Alchemy Pay has already seen a big correction to the downside. Yeah, it's already come all the way down since launch here on Coinbase at least. It has come already quite a lot down, and it's recovering from that to the upside. And on the 4-day chart, you can actually see here that we are possibly getting a bullish cross here on the MACD in the next few days. On the 2-day chart, we've already seen that, yeah, and we've even come into the bullish range here on the RSI. And overall, I think, despite the pump today, but we've now seen another dip, yeah. And given the future of Alchemy Pay, I'm quite positive about Alchemy Pay, especially given that it's now being listed on Binance, so we don't have enough chart history for the weekly. But overall, it's one of the rare cryptos where I would at the moment say that it's actually not looking bad. You know, it's not looking bad as per the indicators. We've got a support line down there. Yes, we've pumped today, but the FOMO pump is over, I think, and we're now holding above the 50-day moving average. Now, that 50-day moving average, of course, needs to be holding. Otherwise, you can, of course, drop to that trend line again. But then the drop wouldn't be massive. And I think in the next bull run up, you will certainly make up for all of that anyway. I think generally the prices are interesting here for Alchemy Pay. And I would encourage you to do your own research, of course. Yesterday in the live stream for all channel members, I talked about my own research process for new projects. And Alchemy Pay does tick most of the boxes, to be fair. I think that's why I'm quite confident about Alchemy Pay. And you know, we see here potentially it bottoming out on the 1 hour RSI as well at 50. So it seems to find some resistance. It's a bit early to say though, but I think it certainly will react here to the 50-day moving average. That's certainly something to watch out for. And setting a long position here, if it's short term, again, it might be useful to set a stop loss, but that's ultimately up to you. You know, these are ways how to possibly reduce here the risk if it's a short-term trade. But I think it's a good project to hold long-term. Of course, more risky than a VeChain, but it is certainly something that is, with a lower market cap, yeah, I think it's ranked 270 or something on CoinMarketCap, or 260. It's certainly interesting, also given that Binance is now listing, obviously, Alchemy Pay, or has listed it already. What is certainly useful for you if you don't really know a lot about Alchemy Pay, do some research, and there's probably also, I haven't checked, but on Binance Research, they probably have published their research project report, which provides a lot of information that you can just take a look at. All right, hopefully you liked the update about Alchemy Pay. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.